Good morning, folks. A deadly earthquake struck Mexico. The climate game has changed forever, and the major sunspots are on deck to return at the end of the week. We'll analyze it all, but begin over at spaceweathernews.com. Find the last 24 hours on our star were very, very calm. No solar flares, no large CMEs. The solar wind at Earth is utterly calm, and so we look to the dark coronal holes. Southern system facing us now with its solar wind impact expected this weekend. Top left, next northern system approaches as well. Stereo A positioned behind that left side of the sun, looking at the big sunspots while they remain on the far side. That brightness at the edge crested onto the Earth-facing disk already, with one approaching the right side in the middle and the major sunspots to the left looking big behind them. That first bright area came into view for us a few days ago, the bright area in the middle, coming in this morning over there on the left, which puts the big one right behind it. Could have magnetic loop visibility tomorrow night. Now on to Mexico. More than 200 people have died and many buildings have collapsed as a tremendous aftershock of their magnitude 8 event 11 days ago struck much closer to the surface and therefore was actually felt just as strong as the initial shake. As we watch some of the footage, please remember that a magnitude 8 event can have these kinds of aftershocks for weeks, so there is absolutely no guarantee that their shaking is done. The affected area from yesterday had over 50% overlap with the initial magnitude 8 rumble's affected area, and indeed, it shook 20 to 30% of our black aftershock zone on the alert map. Looking back over the last year, we had 4 very notable events on this subduction zone, each one traveling on a northwest migration, with the last 3 representing a move from the low velocity zone up through the asthenosphere. Certainly worth noting. Up next, stars that are very far away are hard to see. A story about better high definition of those distant objects sandbagged me with the first shift, thinking, oh wow, what an improvement over past technology, but alas, as I marveled, they pixelated once more. Folks, this is from the NRAO. This is incredible, and I say point that thing everywhere you can. Up next, major news is going around the internet about a shakeup in the carbon dioxide story. I bought the full paper last night, and here are the facts. This is the group of scientists that invented carbon budgets. They are considered the world experts on carbon budgets, and they created the system for the IPCC. These are the end of the line, their say goes, you better listen type guys. Now, carbon-induced warming, about 1/3 of a degree too high in models, they say, meaning they've overestimated by 50% how much of an effect humans have had so far. The carbon budget those folks thought we'd need to hit 1.5 degrees warming is actually about 3 times too low, lower than what we can actually emit without the climate hitting that scary mark. The manuscript implicitly begs for a reconsideration of other inputs and factor magnitude, basically leaving the sun and volcanoes. Quickly looking at the hurricane forecast, Caribbean is in trouble as we speak, hell on earth for Puerto Rico. Things haven't changed much in both the European models and the GFS models. Right now they have western winds impacting the U.S. coastline for the most part. Remember, it's the eastern side that is always worse. And with the exception of far eastern Canada, they do appear forecast to take a solid impact there. Also remember, it's solar flaring expected to ramp back up in the coming days, and I'll have to believe one of those systems will make a run at the U.S. coastline. We'll need to see the uptick first and then see which hurricane is responding. We've got your wind maps, water run, and shots of our star to close. We'll do this all again tomorrow, right here, but right now it's 5:20 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no fear. Be safe, everyone.